going to ask the questions,
Okay.
but you will respond to the council.
Okay.
Okay? First, I want to say, on behalf of them, thanks for coming in, and so the council's plan is to apply for a grant to DNR, and it requires that a park board be established. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be writing a grant or anything, but a park board has to be established. The town does not have a park department, so your work is would be done in conjunction with the council.
Okay.
We have 4 parks. The main emphasis, of course, is always Tower Park. We have Veterans Park. We lease the property for Riverside Park.
Okay.
And we've acquired the nature trail behind Salmoni School.
Oh, okay.
So there's actually 4 parks.
Okay.
So when you're thinking about it, think in general.
Right, okay.
Okay, first is what skills, experience do you have that brings you to this table to help prepare this plan?
Well, I think one of the main thing is my leadership skills that I bring, been demonstrated in the churches where I've worked at, here in town, and also in Uniondale, where I was a pastor there for 14 years. I think getting to know people, I play well with others, I guess I want to say. I get along with all kinds of people. You know, in the church you have all different kinds, and I guess I'm able to navigate that. So when it, comes to discussions or situations, I think that would lend to be a benefit to me with that. I also love landscaping outdoors. I love, my wife and I, we camp, so we go to all the different state parks. I love to walk the trails. So I think that lends to, it's not like something I don't ever go into. So, and I appreciate parks when they're well kept, when there's things there to do for families. We take our grandchildren to our parks here in town, and we just love them. We do usually what we call the park tour when they come up. We go to different ones. And so we really enjoy that. So I guess for that as well, I have a vested interest in our town parks, wanting them to really be the best that they can be, I think. Yeah.
This question's tough, I think, but what do you see as the top priority for our parks? What should the parks be to the people in the town of Warren? Is that I think the gist of the question?
Let's see, continually, updated. So their appearance would draw people into them. Also, just be able for all people to be able to have access to the parks and to the playground equipment, or even with the trails for even perhaps even accessible with wheelchairs to be able to get through, so everyone can enjoy them. So that would probably be my biggest things on that.
I know you probably face this with the church, but funding is limited.
Right.
And we are a small town, small budget. What are the first priorities I think you sort of answered this. What are the first or the highest priorities of the park? I think you just sort of maybe answered this a bit.
To me, I think it'd be appearance, attractiveness. You don't want to go to a park where things are broke down, and that is not always going to take huge amounts of money. Sometimes it's simple repairs. Now, I'm not always mechanically inclined to do, but I know that there's people that could help do that if something needs to be repaired, to put it back in operation. So, and you're right, in the church, funds always seem to be limited, so you work with people. You know, I know a guy or know a gal or whatever, you know, we can be able to get that done.
Okay. So if a person comes to you, you're on the park board, and a person comes to you and complains about the park,
Yes.
do you handle that? How do you handle within a group that kind of dynamic?
Well, I think I just take the complaint to the group, because if that's what it's for, I'm going to take it to that group, not other groups, I guess, at least at first, and we're going to see what it is and see what, you know, does this person that has a complaint, what would they like to see happen? Mm-hmm. You know, what is it that they, in the end, what do they want to have happen? And that's what I would take to the park board, the other members, and present that, and this is what we have in front of us, so how are we going to work through that, whatever that complaint is. And we have to realize that maybe we won't be able to meet that complaint, but I think we have to at least show that we did our very best to work through it.
So in a group,
Okay.
what is generally your role, and try to step outside of your job there, but in a group discussion, what does your role tend to be?
I am one that I am going to listen. I'm a listener, and I guess I've learned that in the church, whether that's, you know, because I'm not going to jump right out and let's do this or let's do that. I want to hear what all parties have to say, and then I'm going, you know, then work towards whatever that solution. So I guess I would just say I'm the listener person with that.
And if you disagree, then how do you respond in that group, or voice your disagreement or whatever?
Very respectfully and tactfully, I guess. And also, sometimes you have to agree to disagree. There may be things where, you know, as a park board, I may be in the minority. And then I have to realize, well, why does everyone else think it's different than what I do? And then like, okay, you know, we'll do that. So that's, I guess, how I feel, and I've done it that way. I've worked with groups that way, to make decisions or get issues taken care of.
The last one I have is the park, and I may have mentioned it, I can't remember now, but the park board has to answer to the council. Mm-hmm. There's not a separate park department. So you put together a plan, you bring it in, the council says we can't do that.
Okay.
Or, a lot of times, sometimes it relates to insurance, sometimes to money, whatever.
Right.
So revision of plans or editing or rediscussions, are you up to that and having discussions with the council? Because council is going to be the one to spend the money.
Right.
To make the decisions and to make sure that everything's legal in the sense of the town.
Yes, exactly. And I guess I would look at that as say, okay, if we can't do, what parts can we do that maybe will lead up to the whole at some point? Maybe there's parts of it that we can do now because we have this money for this part, and then maybe, you know, the plan B, or, you know, the part 2 will be a year down the road, or, you know. So instead of just throwing it all to the wind, I would just say, okay, what parts of this can we do to eventually reach the goal that we want to reach?
May I tag on and say that the councils historically here have worked with multi-year plans.
Okay.
So this comprehensive plan is to get the grant.
Right.
This is our first endeavor. But then it would work into a comprehensive plan. And that's financial and all the planning, so. Any
Okay.
questions there?
I don't think so.
You survived.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Do you have any questions for us?
No, I assume, as this all gets developed, that, there would be a set meeting time, like for the park board and
Yes.
things
The
like
park board has
that.
to have a meeting, it has to be on air as it is tonight, it has to be
Right.
streamed, so the meetings would be here. And that'll
Okay.
develop as they go forward.
Okay.
There'll be a representative of the school board, who's already been appointed, Mr. Thompson. And appointment from, these aren't voting members.
Right.
Appointment or a designation from the council itself, and probably Dustin. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
down the road.
right.
Down the road.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it would
Absolutely.
be, it's not gonna just be the 4 people.
Right, okay.
There'll be a lot of,
And what kind of a time thing are you, I
well,
know
there, by November 1st, I didn't look that up, but there has to be some public meetings. So it'll be a full agenda for the next
Sure.
few
Okay.
months.
All right.
Yeah, at least once a month
Yeah.
meeting and.
Sure.
And because a lot of information gathering will be done through my office, through Dustin, just the basics that go into that form.
Okay.
There was a set form that has to
Yeah.
be filled out for the DNR
24
grant.
pages is that form.
Yeah. So a
Just
lot of
fill in the
that,
blank. It's fill in the blank.
a lot of that
I
work
read that thing and I was like, holy cow.
and the preparation, that'll be done through the office.
Okay.
But the park board's gonna have to meet and approve, or talk about it, so.
Okay. All right.
So pretty involved for the next few months.
All right.
And then after that, we get into the long-range planning. Is that the council's? Yeah, good question.
And each member on the board will be in a rotating
Oh,
term.
yes.
Okay.
So one person will have a 1-year commitment, the next person will 2, 3,
Okay.
4. So
that way they
we'll
can-
appoint that. So it's
Okay.
yeah.
And
So
then it'll be 4 years for everybody after
After
that.
that.
After that,
After the
right,
initial
okay.
board,
So-
yes.
And then does the town board, do you appoint those people then, like interview and, okay, all right.
It's on the May 11th agenda.
Oh,
Work on
Well,
2 meetings
yes,
here.
Well, you mean appointing these people, but then after that fact,
Right,
yes,
yeah.
then each
Yes.
year we'll just appoint one
that's what,
person.
that's
Town
right,
board
okay,
Well, not
yeah.
necessarily. If the 1-year person, nobody, he
Don't
continues.
even- yeah.
You know,
Gotcha.
just like a regular.
Right, okay,
board.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, just ending comments, my wife and I, we've lived here in Warren, we've been part of Warren for years, even when we didn't live here. Actually, Warren is our town, it's Mindy's family, she grew up here, so, and I'm a transplant from Wabash County, but I love, we've always enjoyed being here in town, so I guess for me, it's just enhancing what Warren already has to offer. So,
Okay.
anyway,
Thank you so much, Troy.
so very good.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank
Troy.
Troy.
Thank you, Troy.
Have a good night.
I told the next ones up to wait on the bench outside, Ron.
Okay. So Jessica next.
You can do the next one.
Are those questions okay?
Yeah, great. I don't have other questions because I put them on there.
You didn't bring them up?
No, I'm saying I didn't have other questions to ask outside of that.
Well,
because they
I'm
were
trying
here.
to follow that, but trying to get it in
You're good.
the word.
You're good.
Okay. Hi, Jessica.
Hey.
Hi.
Don't be intimidated.
How do you feel being fetched by Ron Dawson?
Probably not the first time. He's just near, around the neighborhood quite a few times.
I'm glad I don't have to chase you anymore. I don't run.
No, no, it's just the grandkids.
Yeah. Usually
Well,
they run to me, so that's good.
Jessica, thanks for taking the time, and I'm glad we got it worked out about the school board district, or the school district and everything. Just a few things to start. The initial thing is the council wants to apply for, or is planning to apply for a DNR grant, and there has to be a park board in place. Doesn't mean that the park board's necessarily gonna write that plan, but a park board has to be in place and will certainly be part of it.
Okay.
The town does not have a park department, so the park board and council will be working hand in hand on everything. So just not like Huntington where there is a separate park department.
Right.
And there are actually 4 parks as we get to planning. And then, of course, is Tower Park. We have Veterans Park. We lease the land of Riverside Park to the Chamber. And then we acquired the nature trail at Salamone. So in the next years, that will be the focus of the park board. So, Jessica, what skills and experiences do you bring to this, bring to this position as being on the park board?
So I serve with the KBC board right now. So I know what it's like to work with a group of people that have similar opinions, but also extremely different opinions, and how to kind of come together and come to terms on the best for the community. So I feel like being on that board, I know what it's like to work with a diverse group of people. I work with, I say work with, but they're much older than me, and then there's one on the park board that is younger than me, so I'm just kind of like one of the younger ones on the board, but it's nice to see the different aspects from people. So I know what it's like to work with a group of people. I coordinate events within the KBC. I work a lot with the rec leagues there, which I know there's no rec leagues here that we're going to be working with, but as far as, I've got to do the rules, I have to coordinate teams, who's going to work with who do we get with coaches, so have to have a plan. I'm able to plan to utilize for the best of the KBC board, and I think that I can bring knowledge with working on that board going here as well.
Okay. Well, you have been here, so what do you see when you look at the parks? What do you see as priorities for the next few years for the parks?
Definitely, I learned recently about the nature trail. So with that one being new, and we don't really have any, I don't want to say grounds, but ideas for that one yet, I'd say that would be a priority to spruce that up so you can walk again in there. I don't think I've been back in the woods since I went to Salamone probably and ran cross country. And I actually think we own part of the woods that probably butts up to it too on my property, because we own some of the woods back there.
You own the other side of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I
was trying to think what that meant, but yes, you
yeah,
own.
yeah. So I know my kids enjoy going out in the woods, and I have not quite ventured out there yet. So I just think it'd be cool to spruce that up to where you can actually walk through and not really have to worry about tripping over all the logs, because I'd find them for sure. And then I think Riverside and the Veterans Park are kind of they're the newly renovated ones. So maybe focus a little bit on, I know, I can't think of his name, but helped a lot with kind of adding things to the park at Tower Park last year, did the painting.
Mike
Haggerty,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The painting and everything, and maybe, I know one of the biggest concerns here lately there has been like the ball fields and the dirt and everything on that, so maybe focusing maybe a little bit on the ball fields and updating some playground equipment for the kids.
Who do you think should be using the park? I mean, is it, I want to say, how is the focus in the future for the use of the park? Maybe that's the way I would say it.
For any of the parks or the future?
Well, whichever park you want to talk about. Yeah. Tower Park specifically.
Tower Park specifically, the future of it, there's a lot of potential there. I mean, they've got the basketball courts, I think it's pickleball or there. It's not just like the ball diamonds or anything. So if we could even, I don't know when the last time the basketball courts or anything were kind of redone or new equipment out there, even the batting cage, and make it more universal for any age group really, because I see a lot of the older people not older people, but they're a little older than me. They played like the pickleball.
Not now.
Wow.
Not just with my heart.
If older than you is old, we're in trouble.
I'm thinking of it.
We're there a lot.
Well, I mean,
That pretty well.
you know what I mean. But it's not just for like youth. It's how can we get it to be more universal for like even, we'll say way older than us to be able to navigate and get around there.
As you're aware, well, at the Civic Center also, but the way to put it is if funds are limited, how do you prioritize planning for it? Because it can't all be done at once.
Right. I would say, it's funny because I actually teach JA at Salamone, and we do a lot like of the community work and like how do you prioritize. So I just taught a lesson over this. Really is you get with obviously you have your board and we work with the council, and together we collaboratively make a list of kind of like our own expectations, but also like what your expectations would be, and you vote and you say, why is this one better than this one? Vote, have the pros and cons, and kind of dwindle down from there. So if everybody's more in agreement that, let's say, it's not Tower Park, but the focus is the trail, we have to say, well, why is it more important? I'd say it's obviously the newest one, and put your ideas together that way.
Okay. When you're within that group, within the board, and you sort of hit on this already at KBC, what is your role generally in a group board situation?
At the KBC, I am not like in office or anything. I'm just a board member, and I pretty much either have to vote and agree with what everybody else thinks or state my own opinions. And with that group, I mean, there's not a whole bunch of disagreement or anything, but I like to sit and observe other people in there too and watch their faces. It's like when we're talking, it's like, okay, well, they don't like that idea. But it's just really being there and being readily available for me to jump in however they need me to. I don't have like they say I have a leadership role when it comes to, managing all the kids and chaos there. But as far as like in a meeting, like I'm not a secretary or anything like that. I'm just.
So when you disagree with them, how do you react?
I wait until they're done saying their piece, and then we had an issue with the way teams were put together on how they didn't know if it was fair, or because some teams, and it's like that really in any park you have a team that's pretty dominant and then another one that, and I just explained how I do it, and I tell them if they have any input and they want to help, because there's a lot that goes into planning for things, and if they would like to help and give me ideas, I'm more than welcome to take them up on their offer, because we're all busy. So I don't like to step on anybody's toes there. I like the group of people I work with, so I'm not necessarily like a fly on the wall. I'll insert my opinion, but I feel like there's a way to do that too without being extremely disrespectful.
For those older people. Okay, you've been appointed to the park board, let's say, and a person comes to you with complaints and concerns. How would you handle that? How would you go forward with that?
So I would listen to their complaint and concerns, but I wouldn't give them any answers right up front, because when you're working with a group of people, you can't tell them what they want to hear. You can listen to what they have to say, and I would come back to the council and the park board and say, hey, so-and-so approached me. This is their issue. This is how they feel. How do we address that to them? How do we address it, whether it's not to them directly, but publicly or in a meeting? Because obviously it's a concern, but I know I won't have an answer right off the bat, nor do I feel like it's my responsibility at that time to give them what they want, because it's just my opinion might not be what everybody else's opinion is. So
Well, that was quick, but Michelle, back to you.
Well, just I don't remember how you phrased the question about how do you feel about working with the council, knowing that it's not going to be just the park board making the decisions, that ultimately it comes back to the council and making that decision.
I was actually just talking to my aunt about this because I was talking to her about the park board and how I had an interview, and I said that I actually liked that because I think, or maybe the park board itself thinks that like we have a really good idea, it could fall kind of flat on its face, and we didn't have anybody else to talk to get their side of it, to say like, well, this is a good idea, but have you thought about the backside of that? And to have more than one group working together, I feel like you would get a better outcome than just, especially like, I mean, obviously I've never served on a park board, so it's a new role for me to step into. I wouldn't want, I guess, the responsibility of like full-blown making a decision and then it just be like a complete disaster.
And just so you know, it's new for all of us because it's the entire town. So we're all learning too. But no, that's great. Thank you.
So since I do know you work with the teams and everything, I just kind of feel obligated to make sure you understand that we're not necessarily looking for somebody to run the teams there.
Yep.
We're working a group to oversee what's happening there, but not to actually, okay.
Yep. No.
Am I right on that?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, yeah, in the global sense, you're not even going to focus on that.
Right.
I mean, in the
No.
global sense, the DNR grant and the plan going forward is more of the physical characteristics of the park. How do we, like right now, we can sit here and tell you we need new restrooms, we need another pavilion, we need, and it's like after this DNR grant and we know what that covers, then there would be a comprehensive plan built for the next 5 to 10 years. The councils has always operated with that. So it's not,
Which
as
does
he says, it's not
yeah,
on this
yeah.
daily operation, it's presenting a plan that the town can begin to plan for.
Right.
Like, let's say you need 25,000, probably 35,000 now for playground equipment. And you come to the council and it's, well, we can't do that now. So let's get that into the comprehensive plan. When can we do it?
And I like it not being like focused around, I know there's a lot of drama when it comes to and not really at KBC, but Tower Park, but I work closely in helping with that, so it would definitely be a conflict of interest,
It's
I think,
not-
if it were.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
that makes,
Very good.
I appreciate you coming in and your
I think it'll be an
interest. It's
exciting time for the town moving forward. We've wanted it for a while, so,
Yeah, I know, I think, I talked to you, I think it was last year when I was pregnant, you had asked, because
Yeah.
you had talked about
Yeah.
doing
doing
Park board.
something, so yeah. So, any other questions? Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you.
They'll be making, possibly making a decision May 11th.
May, okay,
Yep, that's our next regular schedule.
we're actually
That's the plan.
we're off to the ballpark now.
Well, thank you. Enjoy.
Practices at 6 and
That
7,
works
so
Don't blow away.
Only knows a storm, yeah.
no doubt.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica.
No problem, thank you.
We're doing good on time.
Are we? Said we were doing good on time.
Stand around.
Good.
Well, we've got
Right.
a
Yeah.
half-hour split in between this one and the
Okay.
Can we go see if she's out
Heather,
there?
yeah.
I'll say
All right.
Half-hour split. Well, why didn't you point that out before?
I thought maybe you put that in there in case somebody ran over something, we had a buffer.
Buffer.
Well, Heather gets 30 minutes.
Oh,
so-
no. I know. That's not
I figured everybody would be here a little bit
This is
later.
Heather.
Hi.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
How are you?
Good.
Okay, that's Ron Boxell,
Okay.
Megan
Hi.
Thompson,
Hey.
Michelle Swigert,
Hello.
Scott Kennedy.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how you
I'm
doing?
Marilyn
Good.
Wilson.
Okay, nice to meet you.
I'll be answering the questions, but your responses should be directed to the council,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
Because we do have a format, so that's
Okay.
why.
This is
That's
like
why.
super official. I'm like, dang, this is intimidating.
Nothing
Okay.
new.
Okay.
The council intends to apply, and we intend to apply to the DNR, Division of Natural Resources of Indiana, for a park grant.
Yeah.
And to do so, we need to establish a park board. And that doesn't mean necessarily that the park board's gonna write the grant, but we have to have the park board. So the idea of the park board extends far beyond that,
Okay.
okay? We do not have a park department, so the park board will be working with the council.
Okay.
The park board will not be a standalone board.
Okay.
Okay. And we have 4 parks. everybody gets focused on Tower Park, but we have the Veterans Park.
Mhm.
We lease the land for Riverside Park to the Chamber right now. And we recently acquired the nature trail behind Salamone School, so we
Oh,
actually
that's
have
cool. I didn't
four-
know that.
Yeah,
That's
we
cool.
actually have 4 parks.
Okay.
So, once we get through this is gonna sound once we get through this grant thing, that's when the park board will really be kicking in and we'll know what we have to go forward. So I have a series of questions and like I say, just respond to them.
Okay.
So what do you bring that would help move a multi-year, because we're not talking just what's gonna happen this year, we're talking multi-year
Yeah.
planning. What skills do you bring to that kind of a plan?
Well, I have kids, 5 of them to be exact. So we actually utilize the parks a lot. And on top of that, I am a photographer. So I'm getting way more active in the community doing that. Beyond just Huntington, I've been trying to shoot here too, just to kind of promote our small town because it's like really pretty. So I have some ideas and things for other business owners I've talked to about like things we'd love to see happen with the parks. Ways to make them more attractive for families to use, things to get community like more involved in our parks, like together, to bring people together. So that's kind of what I was thinking with it for that stuff. So.
Okay. All right, very good. So that sort of answers the next question about your priorities for the park. I think you just more or less said that. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Like priorities that I would like to see with
like
utilization.
the community.
Yeah, like community, just bringing people together, seeing more people use all of them. Like I see a lot of people at Tower Park, like you kind of pointed out earlier, but it would be really nice to be able to see, more people use, I don't remember what the one is called over by the baseball, is that like a park, the baseball field area?
Civic Center?
Well, out of
No,
Tower Park.
No. Oh, you're talking about Tower Park. I'm talking about the Civic Center then.
That's separate.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not-
So the Civic Center, like we go to that one a lot just because we live kind of close by. We're on 5th Street. So I think that we could do things there to make it a little prettier, just some more
Well, no,
ideas.
back up a little, KBC Park or the night, that's not our park.
It's not a park?
It's
Okay.
not our park.
Okay.
It's their park.
So
Yeah,
it's actually
it's
KBC's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be something that like we could eventually like work towards working together with them to utilize?
We do some, but that's a private concern.
Okay.
That's private.
Okay.
so,
No, that's
yeah.
That's a
fine.
great.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
See,
I don't
that's
think
a-
anyone knows that because I've talked to other people and we all like were talking about it. So hey, that's good to know. So that's cool. But yeah, make it more family friendly. Bring people from like outside of our community in too. Like we have like the Final Friday events. It'd be cool to be able to like make the parks a part of it too somehow.
So, have you served on boards, like, let's say this is the park board. Have you served before on boards like this?
I have been active with the Fair Board in Wabash County, but I have not served on any type of park board or anything like that. So this would be brand new to me. I'll be honest with you. I've never done this before.
Okay. And that's if you served on, that counts.
Okay.
The board there.
Okay.
Any board.
Collaborating
Okay.
in a group
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, not in just a park board.
Yeah, I've never done anything with like a park board and yeah. So.
Within that group, if a decision's made and you're not actually liking it, how do you react to such a thing?
So I was a store manager at Tractor Supply for like 6-7 years. My kids, they would be like, but anyways, there we had to do a lot of embracing change, just go with it. If it's not your idea, you might not always see it in the beginning, but like see it kind of fall through and end up being a good thing in the end. So I'm pretty easygoing with things. So
How do you react to that though within a board situation where there's an ongoing discussion and whatever? How do you handle that?
I like to voice like what my opinion would be, but also listen to the other side. Like, why do you feel that way? Just kind of hear that from the other person and then just kind of discuss among everyone and kind of get a collective group decision. Yeah.
Okay, as a council and as the finance officer, we have to look at the financial side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So you come in with a plan and it's all this whatever and it's said, well, we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still move forward, or how would you handle such a thing like that?
Well, if it's not in the budget, obviously probably not move forward with things because you have to be able to afford whatever it is you have idealized.
But if you're able to get grants, I'm not sure if, you know, I think that's something you had mentioned. Grants are a part of helping communities and things like that. So those are things you can look for. But I mean, if you don't have the money there, it does make it difficult to move forward with a plan.
Just a little bit on that, and I don't know if I've touched on it, but the council has always used a comprehensive plan, a 10-year plan for the operation of the town.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this case, moving forward, there would be development of such a plan. So it's long-range planning sometimes.
Okay.
To
Yeah.
meet the financial goals, and then you would take it from there.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
so you talked very fast.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. We went through those
No, you're
questions really
good. I'm
quickly.
sorry. I'm used to dealing with my teenager, so she's always da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like back and forth with her. That's so funny.
That was just really quick there.
I'm sorry.
No,
But yeah.
you don't need to be sorry. Michelle,
Well, again, she had mentioned that the park board works with the council, and how do you see that relationship with the two, and how do you feel about that, I guess?
I think that's a good thing because I feel like everyone's got different perspectives and ideas, and obviously the council, you guys have been here for a while, I assume, where you're active in a lot more areas than what the park board would be. So I think it would be a good collaboration because I always feel like more opinions in the matter actually are better to get different perspectives on everything. I don't ever see that as a bad thing.
the park board is not a standalone board as we talked, but park board meetings would have to be held here so they can be viewed online.
Okay.
As this meeting is being viewed online.
Okay.
That's a requirement of the law.
Yeah.
So the actual on the scene, if people are watching, and someone comes up to you and says, "Well, you know, I have a complaint," whatever. How would you handle that?
If they had a complaint.
Yeah, if they come up to you personally, not to the park board itself, but
Right.
they have.
I would assume, do you guys have like a professional format that someone would file a complaint through? Like, does the town have something like that?
We do, but the park
Okay.
board might not.
Well, that's what, I guess that would be my first question. If we had like a format of action to take that way, I would send them that way. But if not, I would listen to their concerns, obviously, try to be understanding, and then say, I can take this back and kind of relay your thoughts.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're right, we do have formal forms. But
Yeah.
as you know, in a small community, in a small
Yep.
town, if somebody knows you're on this position or in this board, they see you out walking, they walk up to you and,
Yep.
and they'll want to.
Yeah, I dealt with
Dump
that a lot
that
as
on
a
you.
store manager, so yeah. Try to always be understanding and like empathetic towards it, but then to take it back and, I mean, try to understand where they're coming from and take it back and be like, hey, this is what someone said, and just kind of, make it known to the group.
Since we have time, the establishment of this board will have 4 members.
Okay.
But it will have ex officio members. A member of the school board has already been appointed, which is required.
Right.
He's local.
Oh, okay.
Our school board member for this district is local.
Okay.
So he'll be coming in, and then there'll be someone from the council. And also Dustin, the utility manager, will probably be attending meetings.
Okay.
So it's not like you're left out as a lone ranger.
Right. Yeah. Like you have all hands
Here you
in
go,
to help.
take care of
Yeah.
this.
That's good.
Do you have any other questions for us?
I don't think so. I guess, what do you guys kind of see as the park board being able to make decisions as, or like, what's your vision with what this would entail?
To help with planning, because it's a conglomeration of ideas. I mean, it's getting more community. This is my thinking. You guys hop in there. That the park board. Anyway, that's it. But
Okay.
but the council has to make that decision then. Just like you said, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's having people to really
Yeah.
sit and analyze and look at what
Yes.
does our community have to offer
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to recreation, when it comes to the community involvement, and seeing all the different aspects that we do have. We have a trail, we have
Yeah.
Riverside for more entertainment purposes, we have Tower Park for many, many different uses. And I think understanding what all we have to offer, and then how we can update, how can we maintain, what can we do to continue to attract people and make our town inviting for people to come either visit and or live here.
Yeah.
Greg, we have a contact at the DNR at the state, and he said, you know, your parks are like the facade of a business
Yeah.
for your community.
Yeah.
And so we really want to keep that as a focus, and I think we need to dedicate people, we need people that are dedicated to focusing on that in our town, because I don't think the council has we have the whole town to focus on, so it'd be nice
Yeah.
to narrow that, but then bring that back to us and say together, like, here's what we've put into this, here's what we know, here's what we think should be done, and help guide some of that thinking for us.
Okay. Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
The council will be more the brick and mortar,
Yeah.
while you'll have the plans, and like I said in the earlier one, you come in with a plan, and I look into it and say our insurance company won't handle that. That's where
Right.
the two, no, we can't do that for insurance
We dealt
purposes.
with that with the 4-H stuff. We would have
Yeah.
like the rodeo. We
Which
had
we've
insurance things.
done
and,
down
yeah.
here at Riverside, you know, had to say, no, it just can't be, so it's more the brick and mortar plus the, do you want fund drives, you know, that kind
Right.
of thing.
Okay. That was just kind of what I was thinking. So yeah.
Any others? Well, good to meet you, Heather.
Hey, nice to meet you guys
Yes,
too.
thank you.
Sorry, I'm such a mess. I've literally been at Randalia all day, and I was like, oh,
I
yeah.
met you years ago in the shop,
yeah, yep.
years ago.
I know. That seems like forever ago. It's crazy.
I have
Time
a
flies.
yellow vase with flowers in it from your shop.
Aw, yeah, I loved that. That was so fun.
But
Those were the
anyway,
days. COVID, dang it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, my photography business lives on and is growing, so that's always
That's awesome.
that's
Yes.
awesome. Yeah, that's
Love
been
that.
really
good
super
deal.
fun.
Thanks for
so.
coming to Warren and doing it.
Yeah. So thank you guys so
Yes,
much.
yes, have a good day.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
too.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, guys.
Best wishes to your grandma.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping she's getting a little better today. So it's always nice when they go, we're taking her off the BiPAP. You're like,
Yes.
so thank you guys.
Take care. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
I did not realize that gap was there.
Do we pause that
You're
or
gonna
does
say,
it
can we
stay
pause it?
on?
I wonder if he's out there. What time is it?
It's only 5:42.
It's not quite a quarter till yet. So we got-
5:45.
Well, he's
We
and
can
he's listed
sit
at 6,
and
so he might
stare
not be out there yet. I didn't realize who she was when I saw her name until she walked
I
in.
know, I was
I
gonna say,
didn't
like,
know. Well, I just was in her shop.
Yeah,
Back
her
there.
shop was in our building.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I do not see him yet.
Yeah, we probably got a few minutes.
He was out walking earlier, so probably scurried home real quick.
That's a very intense thing to make up for the park. You know, I mean, for you, information-wise, it's a lot of
It's, and
information.
that's what we were
Great.
talking about before, really, the park board is not gonna be able to write that. That's
Yeah,
gonna have to
no.
come through the office.
I
But
agree.
I think with Dustin and, it's just, the questions on that are gonna have to be handled by the town, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like you said.
Yeah.
And we'll bring it to them, I would assume, and we'll
Yeah.
work with them, but when you read through there, a lot of it's just town information.
It reminded me of when I was township trustee, and the state has a good way of making things maybe for bigger
Yes,
communities and
yes.
stuff. They do not focus very much on the small
well,
communities.
the one thing
It's-
about that is that is made specifically for us,
Small
and
towns.
so
Yeah.
it is so much shorter than what the big towns
Really?
are.
And that's,
Yes.
when I
And he
talked
said this
with
is-
Greg, this, I won't mention the town, I asked for a plan that
Yeah.
had been approved
Yeah.
from a town about our size.
And that
So
was
what
the-
you're
Yes.
seeing there is a winning
Okay.
application from
Okay.
a town that's bigger. It's-
I have not read the application yet. I just read through the.
Some of the things that Greg mentioned,
Part.
like,
Yeah. That was a lot of reading. I'm gonna tell you.
but no, not really. What Greg mentioned, and he said two different things. He gave me the contact for the grant section manager, and he said before the board even starts the plan, to have them meet with this guy and have him share what
Okay.
to look for. So
That's
he kind
good.
of gave that, but he also said to have each member of the park board really take a section of that plan and focus on gathering that information with you, or really having them narrow it down. So that way it's not everybody doing all of it, and it's not just one person doing it all, to help kind of break that apart, and
Makes
then bringing
sense.
that back and working together.
When I
That's kind
talked
of
to
great.
Greg, that's what that plan was to show you, that there's just some of it that's gonna have to come. It's not dreaming, I don't mean dreaming, but you know what I mean, it's not like a comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
It's a brick and mortar plan.
Yeah.
How many acres are in your park?
Right, yeah.
How many,
It was
you
just a
know,
lot of information.
How much, what's this and that, so a lot of it's just like having written grants, a lot of it's just grant
Yeah.
wordology.
And I think asking him questions and keeping him in this process will also be a very helpful piece. So
Greg will be in this no matter what.
Yes.
I told him, were you here yet? If you ask Greg a question, 10 minutes later, you're passed out on the phone.
I can't find it now, but I did have a question. On one of the emails, there was an attachment of some sort of a town's park board, but when I opened it, it wasn't.
was it the plan? Maybe was it the park plan that you?
It was a different town. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
That's
just,
what I sent to you.
Yeah,
That's
that's
an example.
But when I opened it, it was
Open.
something else.
Oh,
Well,
I
they
can't
got
find
it,
right now.
so I don't know.
I haven't looked at it yet, so I cannot speak
Who knows?
intelligently on this
Who
subject.
knows?
it's a good question.
No one knows.
Who knows?
You guys
The
ever,
I can look
shadow-
at it wrong,
you guys
I
ever
tell you.
watch Nate
Okay.
Bargatze?
Huh?
Nate Bargatze?
It's listed as like,
He's a
what,
comedian.
Morrisville or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
When I clicked on it, I was like,
Oh, let's see.
Who knows?
And while we got a couple minutes, when does the fire truck get here?
It hasn't yet.
When does it
Oh,
get here?
when
There are
does
a
it
lot
get
of
here?
emails.
Is it like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Trying to
They
find
left,
all
no,
of
they
it.
left today.
I was trying to
at noon.
decide if
Okay.
it started at 5 and I
So
thought
it
it was
might be
5
here
and I couldn't
tomorrow?
remember and I was trying to find it in my
Should be in
emails as
by
I was walking
midnight.
here and I was getting stressed
tomorrow.
because I couldn't find it from her and I was like, oh my gosh.
When,
So they're
and then
driving
there's
straight
multiple
through.
ones that have the same
That was the
subject
plan.
too.
Yeah.
Like, wait a
I
second,
don't
what's
know
what?
exactly
I was
what
searching and I was like,
time,
I'm about to
Lee
call
sent
you and I was like, what if
that
we're at the
text,
donkeys or
but they were on
something?
their way.
Okay.
I was like, I'm just gonna show up.
Did
You're
Doug
just
know?
gonna be there.
Yeah.
Doug
I'll sit on the
and
bench.
Ben.
Okay, Adam
But I saw Doug Jarvis
on
mowed today, and I thought, I
Saturday.
think
You're the second
Yeah,
person to
this
say.
is-
I was like, I thought he would get the truck. I should go down there and see him.
that one next to it is gonna
I have those
need
questions.
mowed.
I would have told
Thompson's
Friday.
house.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Is
I'm a week
Thompson still on
behind
that?
everything.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
Well, I knew it was today. I just was not sure the time. I am not a late person.
Well, it caught
so I
my
was
eye
like,
because
okay.
I thought he was gone.
I should
You
be
were
like
here.
4:30 or something and I'm late.
You're on time.
He's gone.
Yeah, no, I can't even find
Small
it.
town.
yeah, so the Williams Sport Park Plan,
Yes.
Yes.
but it's got us signing it. It's ordinance 26-B on my
Sorry.
attachment, so that's what confused me.
I don't know what the.
I don't know. I look at it on a laptop.
So see
Oh, yeah,
here,
you're right, it is our
It's
ordinance.
got the park plan
It's our
template,
ordinance.
so from the DNR,
Just-
okay.
Oh,
But
I
then
do
when
see
I,
that.
Yes.
then when I went on the Williams,
Yes,
it,
we were on the bottom. Yep.
so that's what threw me off. Is that actually their ordinance, or is that?
No, that's ours.
That's
Okay.
ours. Yes, that's
That's
what we
ours.
passed. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
the
that's
wrong
the
file.
ordinance establishing the park board.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
but
the wrong file. It's got the wrong name.
listed as
Oh, it's got
Williamsport
the wrong-
Park
okay.
Plan, and so
Yeah.
when I opened it up, I thought,
I
I'm
noticed that
confused,
too.
this
I
is, I thought
understand.
the ordinance that we signed, so.
It was.
Good, all right. Well, maybe I
That was just to remind you that you'd already established the
Right.
park board,
Yep.
or established,
Right.
because you have to
But
go
that's
through
what
those
the
steps.
throw
Threw you
off
off.
was, it was listed as the Williams
Yep.
Sport
Yeah.
Park Plan, and I
Yeah.
opened it, but
So is Monday a long meeting? Is it full?
Greg will be here,
So we're gonna go over the treatment,
everything.
Okay. So that will be a long meeting.
Mhm.
So it will be a long meeting.
I
You know,
don't
that's
know.
funny because
don't
I didn't know they were
after-
that long when I got on here. And I got in, I'm like, we're having these 2-hour meetings.
It's because we got on.
I guess we're slowing
It's our
things
fault,
up.
man.
We're slowing
No.
things down.
They gotta fill us in.
I looked at that
I'm gonna start
today
setting a
and I thought,
timer,
once you
guys.
get
We got an
going,
hour.
it should go
That
pretty
timer
fast.
goes off. We're
So-
out.
Like it's his fault. I didn't read his email.
But he's got a lot, well, I don't know how
especially
long
when
he'll spend.
interviews, how many interviews?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Michelle and I came on and we're like, oh, these interviews, you know?
Interview after
That's
interview.
what Scott said, he never
didn't-
knew it was so involved.
We didn't know that we were, well, we pretty much replaced
And
most
so-
of the town employees.
And then if we do want to run again, we need to do it by June sometime.
No, no.
June 30th.
Okay.
I called to see about how many, no, okay, anyway,
Okay.
they're
But,
involved in early voting and now tomorrow's voting, so.
Yeah. I know. I didn't realize, out at the home, they early voted.
What's that?
Would you
Oh, I've got
They
a
don't
notepad
advertise
in there.
that.
I do, they should, because I didn't know that, because
Keeping
my
all
mom
on
would
one
ask me,
page in that
my mom would ask me
That
to
would
sit
stress
down
me
and go
out.
through and give me
Oh,
with
you
her and
have to
stuff,
have
because she doesn't
Yeah.
know
Your
a lot.
notes on the.
So I told her I would do that, and I was
labels,
gone
right.
for 5 days, and I got back, and she's like, "We voted
I'd
last
run
week."
out of
I'm like,
space.
What?
The problem is
know that
it
was gonna
starts
happen,
to
but
starts to.
she
get
likes to
really-
try to be
I say, if
informed,
you
which
need
is
another
good.
copy,
I do
you're
feel.
welcome to use
I do feel
this.
bad, like if I cross something off, like I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
I usually go to the
No, I'm
courthouse,
good.
vote early, because I'm usually
Yeah.
managing for something, but this spring I haven't been
I didn't realize this
managing,
was a
so.
storm.
Well, the thing
But
is,
it will be, I mean.
this is a primary,
I know.
so
I
nobody's
watched,
gonna
I
be there.
text
But
Brady and I said,
what,
it's
less than
raining when
half
I'm
our
done, you're
county
picking
goes
me
for
up.
primary, I think.
It's like out of
I
nowhere
think
now.
less
We
than
had
half of the
rain.
people in our county
I
go
was-
to the primary.
Yesterday it was not
Every
supposed
day.
to
The
rain.
numbers
It
are-
was not supposed to rain.
It was
Rain
not
buckets.
supposed to rain, yep.
Rain buckets.
And it wasn't supposed to
I
rain
think,
today either.
Mom's down.
the
and
first
so
time
I
that
thought,
Trump
I
ran
didn't want to mow
was the
on
busiest
Sunday.
I'd ever
I'd like
seen
to,
it,
but
because
sometimes
everybody
I
either
thought with
wanted
my
him
schedule
in
with
or
the
did
rain.
not want him in. It was very
Mom's yard
decisive.
mowed. I
And
zipped
everybody
over to
was
my
there,
house, it starts
whichever way they were
sprinkling.
going, everybody
I
was
start
there.
blowing, it
And I think
keeps
it's the most
sprinkling.
people I've
I
ever
won't say
seen
it
when
was
I
a
voted.
Downpour. And I kept going until
because,
finally I
like
was
I
wet
said, I
through my
voted at the
sweatshirt. I said,
county
this
at
is
the
it.
courthouse.
I'm done.
I
I'm
say it
tapping out.
rained
That was like a
by
third of my yard.
We
I always
surely
voted
have
here.
Me and Debbie
replenished.
had my
But I
house.
think
We have
before we
surely
voted here, I
replenished
think we
our
spoke at
drought
home, if I
status,
remember
or
Years ago,
our
yeah.
water
Yes.
table
So I think they
to
probably
Yeah,
stopped
Roush
that
died.
because of
out of
people
It's
our
sick.
drought
been
status.
years.
Yeah, it's been a
I
long
just hope
time.
this isn't the only rain we
Been a
get
long
though.
time.
Yeah.
All summer long.
So,
They
yeah,
actually
they're
wanted
calling
me
for
to be
bad
in
year for
charge of
farmers.
the,
Are they?
asked me
With
to
rain or,
be the
oh, like we are
public
gonna rain?
representative.
Did it go back into
at,
drought?
They're
Well,
gonna-
I'm
say
afraid
it.
They're
it's been
saying
so
we're not gonna be able to get planted.
And,
it's
and
been so
gonna
cool
dry.
and wet
I
that
was
I'm
like,
afraid
I
all of a
just-
sudden it'll
well,
just get
first
hot
off,
and
when
dry.
I
What we've
did the
had the last
training,
few
I wasn't
years.
available.
Every time we
Yeah.
try to plant grass.
That's
They
a
must
like,
have
I
found
think
enough.
Yeah,
spring is
that's
the
like a
new
fire
time to plant
The
grass
other
because the fall has
towns in the
not worked
city
for us the
have
last 2
nothing,
years.
But Warren doesn't.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm out.
And so I didn't know
I keep
that.
thinking I hear a car door, so I feel like somebody's here.
yeah, he'll walk
Standing.
surely.
But I thought, yeah, I should have mowed
We're
my
gonna have to
yard
yell at
first.
him.
I didn't care if mom's yard looks a mess.
Exactly. I always mow mine, and if Brady's working late, I'll mow his second.
Is there marks in your mom's yard where the truck went off?
Oh,
I
I'm
forgot to
glad
go-
you brought that
I
up.
forgot to go
think
by
she
there and look
said,
at that.
It's gonna cost you a steak dinner.
Well, I can do that.
Maybe two.
After the weather changed and everything, I never made it down by there, so I'll go by there and look
No,
at
it's fine. I mowed it yesterday. She's laid up, so
it. I tell you, I don't know if there's a worse spot you could get your truck stuck than right there along the highway, honestly.
Like I said,
For everybody. Everybody knew it
at
before.
least George's wasn't, I mean, his was just the van, but back when George delivered the Fort Wayne paper, and George was always in a hurry.
Oh, yeah.
Mom and Dad were in Florida at the time, and I'm coming to work. I come out and I looked down and I thought, what's that van doing down there? And he went to throw the paper out, and he went scooting out, and he lost it and went right down towards the creek. His van was down there in the yard and just sat, because George got out and walked, and so I called George, and he says, yeah, I'll get it. It sat there for like 3 or 4 weeks before they finally pulled it out.
Imagine that. Now,
It wasn't hurting anything, just kept getting a lot of calls. Hey, your mom and dad know that George is, yeah.
Yeah.
The drive was slick. He was going had a little too much heat for that curve.
I saw lots of loads going down to the cleanup.
Yeah.
Good, I
Boy,
got
that
some
was
tables to
something.
take.
At quarter after
I need
3,
a truck.
Dustin called and said, we don't have any
Who wants to
roll-offs
volunteer a
here.
truck?
Are you kidding me?
I'm like, at quarter after 3, you tell me we don't have roll-offs, and trust me, there'll be people there at 7:30 Monday. So I sent a message right away to the manager thing. Well, he was gone till Monday, and I'm sitting there going,
Oh, my.
gosh, what am I gonna do? I'll have to send out a reach alert that we'll have to delay it. So I called Barry Howard.
Yep.
You two remember
Yep.
Barry?
He's been
And I
great.
said, we don't have any dumpsters, and I'm not happy. And while I'm talking to him, by this time it's 3:30. A dumpster goes around the corner. I mean, not a dumpster, but
Yeah.
a truck
Yeah.
pulling a rock goes.
Yeah.
And I said, well, there's one. And so he said, well, I'm gonna look into this. I made these arrangements 2 or 3 weeks ago because last fall I forgot to check in with them, and they had forgotten. So I made these, I was perfectly happy thinking, so I hang up and go over and look out, and there goes the second one. So then he called back and he said, well, I had a discussion with the scheduling department. He said, you don't wait till the end of the day to deliver
Yeah.
roll-offs.
Oh, okay.
Because it was, 4 o'clock. I'm like,
Yeah.
Right, because if the guys would have left.
well, that was what,
Yeah.
I thought, well, we're gonna have to leave the gate open.
Yeah.
Will they know where to put him? Or Dustin, can he stay? Or,
Right, yeah.
So then the next thing was the 5th, or tomorrow we're off, and it's cleanup.
Yeah,
So
Tomorrow, what's tomorrow?
election. day.
Election day.
Oh,
Remember,
that's
we
right.
just talked to election.
Yeah, but I'm working.
So anyway, Dylan, I said, is there any way one of the guys would take Monday off and then work Tuesday? Well, Dylan did.
Okay.
So we'd have it covered, because I asked him to sort of kind of watch, because
Yeah.
last time we got so much stuff that didn't go, and so much stuff from out of town.
Did they ever get back with us on the whole idea of possibly having them do pickups? Or no, was that
They
something-
never entertained that.
They didn't, okay, I wasn't sure.
Hi.
I know that was something we had kind of
Yeah.
threw out there, but wasn't sure if they would do for that.
Oh, Renee.
I apologize.
Hello.
I'm not in my dress. I had to come straight from my other job, so.
Well, we have you at 6:15.
You do? I'm
Do you want to go ahead and do it? since
He's
Mike's-
not here, just
Yeah,
go ahead.
let's just go
Are
ahead.
you sure?
We're just
Because
gonna
I can
switch
wait.
around.
I
No,
don't
just
have
go
a
ahead.
problem waiting.
Yeah, I can text, you can text them and say.
Text them
"Hey,
and tell
wait
us
till
it's
6:15."
Tell him it's
Yeah.
at
Okay.
6:15, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I guess I was thinking
Yeah.
6
Okay.
o'clock all day today. I raced out of the office. I was like,
You were here fast and everything.
I did.
Okay, I'm gonna be asking the questions, but you respond to the council,
Okay.
okay?
Perfect.
First of all, the council intends to apply for a grant from DNR the end of this year, and to do so, there has to be a park board in place. So that's what's brought this up. The comprehensive plan will be built as much by the council as the park board to get that grant, and then after that, it'll be moving forward. The town has actually 4 parks. We have Tower Park, we have the Veterans Park, we lease the land for Riverside Park to the Chamber, and we have a nature trail behind Salmoney School. So we actually have 4 parks. So it's not focused just on one, although Tower Park will be the main interest. So anyway, like I say, I'll ask the questions, you respond to them. And the first is what do you bring to serving on the park board? What do you think you would bring to that kind of board?
Skills and experiences.
To build a multi-year plan.
That's kind of what I do at work now. I'm the administrative coordinator for the Huntington County Council on Aging. So that's mainly my whole big thing. I do the financials and pretty much everything. There's like a list, but that's what I do. I coordinate things, and I ran a organization. I did I don't know if you guys ever heard, it's not in place anymore, but I did the Huntington County, the drug overdose organization. We had that clear back in, it's like 2020. So we worked for the courts for a while there, and then we don't use it anymore due to funding. It was hard to get funding, but I used to write grants, and I taught my director now how to write grants. So, but yeah, it's just kind of what I do. I like to plan and organize. And
When you consider our parks, what do you see as priorities for our park system?
well, I'm glad you brought up Tower Park. I watch every year because now my grandbabies play, and I watch how they fight a lot out there. So I think rules, if that's one of the things that's an objective, is getting the rules set in place, because I know they argue with Lisa a lot. And then I watched a lot of fights just last year with coaches and her, and a big mess. So I don't know if that was on the agenda to get some rules set in place for that kind of thing, or but I think that's an important one, but I don't know how that's going to be handled as far as all that goes. So
In this situation, the town doesn't have a park department per se, so the park board will be working with the council So in this situation, the park board will meet and discuss and whatever, but any action would have to come back to the council. So how do you react when you personally react when you're supportive of a plan and it comes to council, let's say, and council says we can't do it now, or we don't want to do it, or it can't be done?
Negotiate and compromise. We do that now because we have a board. So everything that me and the director come up with, it gets presented to a board, our board,
Okay.
on the council anyway. So they call a lot of our shots too. So it's, yeah, kind of used to that. So yeah, we just try to, we always come to a compromise and try to work to see what we can do. But
In that board situation, how do you react in that? How are you part of that board? Or how do you react in that board? Do you serve on the board or you're an employee?
yeah. So it's our board members and then Jessica, who's my executive director, and then me. And then we own HAT as well, the transportation system. So we're just kind of all of that.
So in a board situation, how would you react if you're not liking the way the conversation's going, or you don't like what they're deciding? What would be your demeanor during that time, I guess is the word I want, demeanor, or what would be your reaction?
To a rejection for an
Rejection,
idea I had?
or you just don't want you don't want to put words in their mouth, but how would you react in that situation?
That's a good question. We get turned down a lot on some things, so you just, you can't really argue with the ones that are above your head. So you just kind of put it out there what you think, and I mean, you can't, I don't get mad. We just go back and try to come up with a plan to revise it, and then we present it again after we hear what they had to say. So it's just, like I said, a lot of negotiation.
Have you ever worked on a board where a board, let's say the 6 of us, I'm just talking down, the 6 of us are on a board working together? Have you ever served on a board like that, that there's a transfer of ideas and? Okay.
No, just worked with them, but not on one.
Okay. So let's say the park board builds up priorities and comes to council. Maybe I've said this already, but and the council says we can't or won't. How do you feel about proceeding after that then? I guess and reacting to the role of the town council in this. How would you handle that personally?
Just say thank you for your input, and how would you like me to proceed, and then ask you guys what you want me to do. I mean, that's pretty much what you guys decide.
So when let's say you're appointed to the park board and you're out at the KBC for something, and somebody comes up and says, this is what's wrong with the park and whatever, how would you respond to that complaint?
Just listen to them and tell them that I will take note on that, and I will bring it I'll bring it to the council, and then present it to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do that now. So
At the park board.
I get all the, yeah. I get it all. And I take it to my director, because I have to go up and we present it to the board.
A little bit of explanation about, as I said before, the council's more brick and mortars. They're gonna be worried, not worried, excuse me. They're gonna be looking with the financial side, the insurance side, the whatever side. And if that is impacting what I've sort of asked you this before, but if that's impacting the general gist of the park board, again, how would you respond? Do you stay? Do you move forward? Do you say town council? Whatever. What's your attitude toward being governed by your park board, but you're going to be sort of governed by the town council?
Well, again, do whatever they want me to do and just push forward. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be upset or back out or be mad or, just.
Okay, that's good.
It's a good question. But no, do whatever they they want me to do. You always have somebody above you, so
Oh,
it's,
yeah. So the thing is, we call this the comprehensive plan that has to be prepared for this grant administration, but a lot of that is going to come through the office and through Dustin and whatever. But following that is when the park board, in my mind, and council can correct me, but when the park board actually begins to be a park board. Because so do you have the time to devote to that? I mean, it could be 3 meetings this week and 1 next, and do you see longevity is what I'm asking.
and I have a lot of availability. I also have flexibility in my job, so if something needed to take precedence in it during the day, I can be here. But yeah, I'm alone a lot during the evenings. My husband's job, he's gone a lot, so. And I just moved back to Warren, beginning of April, so I am back in town. So I'm just right down the road. But yeah, I have availability. Absolutely.
Michelle?
Marilyn touched on this a little bit about prioritizing what are the top priorities for our parks. But when it comes to prioritizing projects and there's not enough funding, how would you decide what we address first based on limited funding? How would you approach that?
I guess just look at what, like you just said, what needs done, like what's on the highest priority list to do. We run into that a lot too now because we're solely based on grants and donations. So it's, I mean, we're always having to cut something and then put something else up here. And I don't know what, we don't do anything here like fundraisers or anything like that, do we? Or can we? Or, I do that for the I do that for the Army unit, so I'm used to again.
Right, yeah, no,
coordinating.
exactly. Like, how would you approach it? Say fundraising. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can go out there and get that money. You just gotta
Exactly.
know the limits on what, like in the Army, we have to, I mean, there's so many restrictions on what you can do. But for over here at the council, my council, it's not, we can do what we want. We just can't do raffles because that's considered gambling.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can go out there and get that money.
And I know you you said you haven't really served on a board specifically, but what is your role in general? Like when you're working with a group, what kind of role do you usually take when you're working with a group?
I take the reins. No, I'm being honest.
Leader, yeah.
I like to be.
You like to be the leader.
Well, yeah, kind of. That's not horrible, but I'm just used to being put in that position because I can throw ideas out all day long. So that's one thing my director hired me for.
Well, anything else?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. Do you have any questions for
Yeah.
us?
No, she kind of touched up on that one. The one thing I've been thinking is the objective for having one, because I know Warren's never had a park board, so I didn't know like what's the
No,
main priority.
Warren has had park boards.
We have.
Not
This-
a leader.
I mean, I did move away for.
Let me finish.
A while,
This has
but-
to be a legal park board. The councils in the past have appointed park boards, but to get this grant, it had to follow legal procedures.
Makes sense.
So this will be, quote, legal park board.
So like when we have meetings and stuff, they're live streamed.
Yeah,
You'll have to
it'll be-
follow the rules and the procedures.
Yeah,
That's something,
yeah.
stuff like that.
So
Like,
that's
that
the
would be-
difference. Scott was on the park board once years ago, 50 years ago, I think.
But as far
I'm
as
only 60.
Well, that's a point.
but as far as accomplishing what we're trying to with receiving funding and things like that, that's the route we took with a legal park board. And whatnot.
Perfect.
So,
Alrighty, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me early.
thanks for being here.
Yeah, no, that
It's
worked
all
out.
great.
Yeah,
Nothing
it worked
wrong
out
with
great.
Worked out, yeah, super.
For me, if you're on time, you're late. So I try to.
that. Megan just said that earlier.
I'm not a late person either.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
All right,
you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Well, that worked out swell.
Yeah, it did.
I wonder if Mike,
If everybody else just shows up a few minutes early, we can get right there. So we got 3 more.
well, I wonder if
4.
Mike.
No?
Oh, sorry. Right, you're
Yeah,
right.
Mike
Right. 'Cause
Taylor.
I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm counting
So
names.
that-
No, you're right. We just switched
Taylor
these.
and
Okay.
Taylor.
Mike's not out there yet?
I did text him though. So.
Okay.
Well, he does, I mean, he's already interviewed, really.
Yeah.
I went through the book, or those pages that he gave us that night at council meeting
Taylor and then
for that
Kinsey.
project
Yeah.
he's doing. And so I meant to get with Diane out there to see what their timetable is. Because did you see he's a candidate for cochlear implant?
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
He's got to get other things done first.
And so, but I want to contact them to see if,
That's okay.
He went to get the cochlear implant,
Taylor.
but he's also got to have shoulder
Yeah.
surgery.
Papers
are out
And
of
they
whack.
said, you got to do that first.
Yeah.
And he's got one other thing, and they said, you got to do that first. Because somehow when they do this, it can mess the other
I didn't know
stuff
who
up.
she
I
was,
didn't understand.
obviously. So when she
But he's
walks
going to
in,
have
she
some
probably
work
saw
done.
my
He's going to be the
face,
bionic
like,
man.
You're not
Yes.
right.
Oh, you were.
So anyway, I was just
That's
gonna
not
contact
right.
her
Why are
and
you
see
in
what
here?
their time schedule was for it. Because I don't know, patronicity, you know, a lot of grants, if you get the grant, then you only have this much
Right.
time.
Yeah, it's got to fit into that
So I
frame.
wanted to know if there's anything we could do to help to get it along, or I'm sure he wants to be out there working on
Right,
it
yeah,
at the
moving.
time.
Yeah.
So I'll still try to get a hold of her and.
I don't think Mike is actually going to be here. So
Yeah, I don't. He's.
Well, I don't either. I mean,
well,
yeah,
I messaged him and he said he's at a ball game in Huntington.
okay.
so he's not gonna get.
Yeah. I think-
But we can read his application.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, let's read his application.
Well, actually, no. I think he's
He
presented.
I was gonna say he
I was gonna say
presented,
he came and
so
presented
we all
his
pretty
interest,
much
and
know
we know
his-
what his.
I think we're good. Yeah.
His
I don't
passion
really-
is
Passionate.
I think
second
we,
to none.
Yes.
Is
His
that a coyote?
his interest in everything else is good.
I heard something.
Okay. I'm gonna get up, but only because you heard it.
I did hear something.
Megan's gonna be worn out.
Megan, you're getting your steps
So our
tonight.
Taylor's
She's
Taylor's not until 6:30. So
Oh,
That's true.
I thought it
Yeah.
was 6:15.
no,
So-
we already
so-
did
No,
6:15.
Michelle?
now we're all confused.
Michelle, instead of at the end of the meeting, let's talk about now. So how do you proceed after this?
We will. I think we make a decision on who we want to appoint at our next meeting.
How do you want to do the vote?
Yeah,
Like, do we? I don't know. You like somebody nominate 4 people and we say yes to that, or are you asking like if we all name our 4 choices and narrow it down? Is that what you're
I
thinking?
think we
Yeah, I
can
don't
rank
know.
our
Okay,
top
rank
4
our top
each
4.
and then discuss and see if we're on the same page or not.
I'm good with that.
Because we got to have
Do that
it
Monday
set,
or-
right? I mean,
Monday.
before we do
Like
it, yeah.
next Monday.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yes.
Because that needs to be an A.
Yeah. So you're saying like all of us write down 4 names?
Well, we name
Our
them.
top
We can't really
4.
write them down, but
Right.
yeah,
Well, having-
write our top 4. Yeah.
Write our top 4 down, and then everybody discuss it, see who
Yeah.
gets the most votes throughout that. And
Yeah.
then if we have 4 that stand out, then I guess we could vote on those 4. And
Mm-hmm.
if we have 5 or 6 that stand out, we'll have to have a little discussion.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Is that okay? Does that make sense?
works.
So
I
just
agree with that.
Put that on the agenda for.
it's on the agenda.
It's on the
I just
agenda.
wanted
Okay,
to
yeah,
make sure
yeah.
you had something.
Well, that is how we will move forward with it.
Okay,
So
so
you
I'll
guys
just come
be
with 4
ready with
names.
4 names
Yeah, I'll come
on
with 4 names.
Monday.
Yeah.
There's a
And it is
way to
next
rank
Monday,
them
not
by.
a week from Monday.
There's a way to
Right.
rank
I'm
them
off.
that makes it a number thing, but if you can just do it that way.
I think, and that's kind of why I think this checklist was kind of the idea was to think about.
I'm writing a number on each
On
sheet
each
with
sheet.
each name
Good.
where I
So you've
think they
got-
rank
Well,
between 1 through 10.
And what
as
you're
we
saying,
interview
it's
them.
fine, but when you get to that point on the agenda, my question is so you ask each one to say their 4? I mean, it's, how are you going to get to that point?
Yeah, which I think that's what we need to do. Everybody say their 4, and don't
Top
you? And
4.
then just write them down.
Yep.
And then see which names are like,
Repeated
or
names.
like every time somebody says a name, can we just put a number beside
Yeah.
beside that name, one, and then
Yeah.
see who gets the most. Is that all right?
I think I'm good with that. Yeah.
You with that?
And then if like I said, if you have 4 people that just totally have all the votes, then I guess it's pretty
Yeah. Pretty quick.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
And just say, let's nominate these 4 people with the most votes.
And if not, I think we can still take the top ones that have the
Yeah.
most, and then if we need to
Discuss
discuss
a
a
little
couple
bit.
of few, then we'll
Discuss a
discuss a
couple
couple
about it.
few, and
Yeah.
that's it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Just
There we go.
making sure.
Just remind me on Monday.
Why? It'll be in your notebook, won't it?
No. It's in my head. No. You all heard it, so, oh.
One thing I can tell this board right now is do not rely on me to remember anything and tell you how it's going to be done. If it's not written down, and we'll forget. That's why I'm writing.
Right, you write it down.
I hurt my wrist, it's sore, so I'm writing. I hope I can read what I'm writing later. It's been, but if I do not write it
It
down,
is
I won't
recorded,
remember.
you can listen.
I could, but I don't think I want to sit and listen
Turn
to
on them
myself
closed
talk.
captions.
Is this closed caption?
Yeah,
You
you can
can
turn it on
online.
YouTube.
Can you really?
Yeah,
Well, I
YouTube has
suppose
all
you
the,
can. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can do it yourself.
you can turn it on, it's not automatic, you have to turn them on.
I'm going to
On
start
the
saying my
settings.
words.
That's
funny.
if we don't want to hear your voice.
Right, I don't want to hear my voice.
Oh, gracious sakes. That's all I can say.
Yeah, so the park board, is good that we tell them what it is, because I think a lot of people are probably like, well, we're gonna go out there and decide how the park runs, and it's good that we explain to them that you're gonna come up with a comprehensive plan for the park is really what it's all about.
Yes.
Well,
How's it
and you
gonna do
guys
in the
are
future?
going to have discussion with them because, you know, they're not thinking in terms of restrooms and pavilions and
Yeah.
whatever. And so you're going to have to work with them to get to that stage. And programming will become part of it.
Yeah,
Probably way later.
When the town had a comprehensive plan, the last like 10-year plan, one of the things they had to do was gather input from the community, and some of that stuff was on that plan, right? Just
No, we never had a park.
no, not the park, just
But
the
No,
town.
the comprehensive plan is the council would meet and brainstorm, and Dustin would come up and say, here's what we need this year, over 10 years, and then the marshal would do the same.
Mhm.
And then it was sent to Greg Garatos, who would take the tax, whatever, and say the way for you to afford this, and this is what the park would do then, is say for you to be able to afford this, this is what you need to do. For this to happen in year 2,
Yes.
you need to do this. And if you like the water tower, the water tower at Tower Park was on there for 20 years. Or the fire truck was on there for a long time because we were ready, but
Right.
they weren't. So it involved you as the council, but it didn't involve the community. It was you.
So what was it
planning
that
out your
C3 did?
resources.
What was it that that C3 was hired to do?
Well, it's
that?
it's not C3. It's
Not
3A.
3A.
C3
C3
sounds like a FBI thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, we need a B3. You might as well go for bingo.
Well, they were hired to do what
10-4.
we're going to do on our own.
Yes.
We're going to write the grant. They were hired to handle this program.
But not this, before that. They did something bigger for the entire town.
Oh, that was way back. That was a
Yes.
hired comprehensive plan.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And in that, the community had already given input on that, but
Yeah.
nothing was able to really be done with that because there wasn't any group to take that on other than the
Well,
council,
there was
right?
stuff done with it. Yeah, there was stuff, but it wasn't set up for that kind of thing. It was for
Okay.
the community to react to what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you get the sports stuff and the tennis courts being redone. The tennis courts were redone through that, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
They need some love right now.
Well, and that's where Mike said in his presentation to you,
Yeah.
what he's doing is fluff work, and then what he turned around to you guys and say, you guys got the hard stuff. And that's where your priorities will come into play when is the driveway. Well, that's part of the park plan.
I think we all have ideas.
And the basketball courts and the permanent pickleball court and restrooms and
so
benches.
once we vote on a board, and then this plan has to be done, so when does the board actually become active?
the park board.
Yeah.
That's just what I said. Really, up until this plan is done
Done.
and the grant is
Yeah.
applied for, and you have the grant, that's when the park board can step forward after all this planning is done.
I think they need to be involved in the process, though. I think they need to be.
Well, we're not saying they
Yeah.
shouldn't be, but
Yeah.
he's saying when do they actually, and that
Kinda start
is, we
taking
get
over.
up to this application time.
But can they act as a park board before the application's
Yeah.
through? And they can. That's what I was asking, I guess. So they can act as a board and talk with us and do all that before.
They can do that from
Yeah.
the word go.
I mean, I think it would
okay.
be great for them to have a meeting
a
and
June
establish
meeting.
the leadership roles and all
Well,
that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
That's-
Meet with
And then-
That's
him and.
set by statute that they have to appoint a
Okay.
president, they have to appoint a secretary, which doesn't have to be from the board, but a secretary. It's in your book.
In here.
I just didn't know if all that took place or if we had to do this grant
It's all
process and
part of it.
everything.
It's
Yeah,
all part
okay.
of it.
That was what I
But
was.
when they can
where I
really
was not
begin to
sure.
flourish
Yeah.
is,
Once we have a plan.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be exciting for it to have a group planning all that.
Yeah. And coming in here with some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you just get individual ideas from individual people, that's great, but you're kind of sometimes all over and I've got this
And it-
certain one thing.
It doesn't
and-
have to be plans that involve purchasing or buying.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it can
Absolutely.
be
Yeah.
like, who knows?
Sometime with the board, they can focus or
Yeah. I'm hoping they can just grab more ideas and bring them in. So,
Well, it's sort of like when Main Street started and whatever, they may want to visit other places. They
Yeah.
may want to go to Huntington's. But,
Yeah.
you know, you'd think they might have to have a bit of a learning
I
program
would
for
think,
them.
yeah. I know I'd had to get a bit of a learning curve.
Are you muttering?
You guys have these in there, but
I
we
did-
do,
I did
there is a
quick
new
check.
one of these, just so you know, so. this-
It's basically the
state-
same.
Is it the same? Did you look at
Yeah.
it? Then- Okay. 'Cause
It's
he
the
sent that
updated,
and
the newer
updated.
version.
He said we should mention that in our plan. I'm not quite sure how yet, but that was.
Still a little early.
Okay.
Did you send the agenda for Monday? I think you did, didn't you?
Haven't yet.
Not yet.
Okay, you have it?
Do you want it?
Why, do you have it?
Not in my pocket. I can send it to you Wednesday. It's tentative, you know. We have
Yeah.
a tentative agenda.
I know.
And that is because it can change. I could send it Wednesday. I can send you. I've got all the packets copied. Hey, at least I copy them so you don't have to copy
Yeah,
them
that's
off.
great. That's awesome.
He keeps commenting on this reading material I keep sending. I'm just giving you time to prepare.
Well, I want to be prepared. That's why I'm trying to read it. Did you still want to go out to the plant sometime this week?
Yes.
What day? Because I'll talk to Dustin.
I can do Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday.
They're not there tomorrow.
I can do Thursday or Friday.
Tuesday would be the best night for me, but
Hey, Dylan will be there.
oh, Dylan will be there Tuesday.
Yeah, and he knows the plant.
I can
That's-
do Tuesday, Thursday, or
I'll talk to him tomorrow and I'll let you know what he says.
Okay.
He may
Tuesday
not
it
feel
is.
as secure as Dustin would, but
I don't get to town till like 3:25ish.
Okay. Yeah, I told him it'd be like 3:30 originally
Okay.
I said, so, yeah.
I guess Wednesday my thing's not till evening, so it could be.
oh, they leave at 4.
Yeah, they leave at 4 o'clock, so 3:30 to 4, it's gonna be a quick one, but at least we can get through and see the basics,
Little
so.
knowledge.
It's
Yeah.
amazing when they take you around.
I went through that plant when they were building it, before it was done. But I haven't been in there since it's been operational, so.
It's just understanding the drying beds and the blowers, and
Yeah,
I might
it's,
be able
it's,
to
it's an amazing
sleep
thing.
out early if need be.
it's also money. I mean, it's a huge expense for the town, you know, and.
It's a huge expense operating that, and
Yes.
with everything else increasing, guess what?
Yeah, I know.
The supplies to run that plant have sure increased in the last month.
Everything has.
I heard a car door.
I have 1,300 steps till I hit my 12,000 steps, so let's go. It's starting to get cloudy.
Oh, no.
Of course.
To rain yet.
Is it gonna rain?
I hope not.
I think
Probably
I-
not till we get out.
I think I put my
It
It
windows
depends
up.
on which weather channel you
We've
look at
had,
today.
we
It's
don't
like
need
beautiful
it.
when you're in work today, and then
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
then you get
we were-
home and it's going to be.
We were
cold,
what,
dip
10
and
or
drip.
13 inches below on a rainfall?
Still?
No, now I would think we'd be about to call
I
it
just
up.
talked to somebody this
We're out
morning
of
that
the
said this
We
area,
are?
we're pretty good, just south of here is not that.
Well, you see, Muncie down in that area, they didn't get a lot of that early rains
Yeah,
we got.
apparently
They
that's
were
what
still working ground down there until we got this last
Apparently,
rain.
that's what he was talking about,
Yeah.
because he said here,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. He said, in fact, it's too wet to get into the field.
Yes, it
I won't
is.
let in here either. I was trying to look it up.
Oh. Oh,
You guys'
there's
phones do not work in here?
Mine won't. It's
not.
starting to get a little
it's-
cloudy down there.
There's a little bit of a.
It's
Maybe
raining at the
it'll
end of
miss
this.
us.
Who's taking me home?
I'll take you home.
Thank you.
Hey, somebody can take me home.
I walked.
Well, I can walk that way with you because my
I
truck's down there.
Oh, it's just a tiny little bit. and
Yeah, it's
gonna
just
be
a
right
little bit.
behind
It's
you.
at Marion right
Oh, do you
now.
have the fancy app?
Should get here by
No,
the
it's
time we
not.
get
It's,
out.
it's
Yeah.
just the free
Not the-
one.
Not
No,
right.
not free.
Not
It really just looks like it should.
Radar scope.
Do you realize how many
Yes.
days it starts
Yes.
raining
And-
about
and I was
quarter
told-
four?
Yeah.
the official radar
It's
that
like,
Weatherbug uses.
Okay, this is
And
gonna be
so-
nice. sunny
I
day.
just went
It's a
to
nice evening,
a
and then
meeting
you,
last
oh,
week
it's
because like
raining.
it was about to
Walk
rain
home in the
out
rain,
and
I've done it
stuff.
many
It was so
times.
over my head. They're like, you need to use
There's
this.
been several
and
times
you
it's
can
rained
turn the
lately
wind
that
speed
I
and
didn't
no
even
one's
know
at
they
your
were
house,
calling
and I
it
was
for
like,
rain.
why
Yeah.
am I in
Every
this?
day's
Are those other
been sort of
things?
I
different.
was like,
I mean,
I
of
literally
course, it
thought,
changes
where's
every
that in
hour,
radio
but it's
you need
because they
them? Like,
watch
this is
every
over my head.
bit of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But then again, I've trained myself on these apps. Anything that's like 30% back in the day seemed like.
Yeah.
No.
Now then, it's
Yeah.
almost a guarantee. if it's
See, I always thought it
30%.
meant there was a 30% chance of rain.
Right.
But
The
what it
area.
means- It means there's a chance that 30% of the area is
It's
going
going
to
to
get
get
rain.
wet.
Yeah, I always thought it just
And
meant
if it's
that, you know.
spring, it's Warren. If it's summer, it's not Warren. We have a line. We move.
It's just interesting, when they were doing the construction work here on this street, when they put in the
Yeah.
water main and everything, they came in every morning to look at the weather and how many times they'd say, well, we don't know if we can work today because it's headed this way, and they'd come in and it'd go.
Yeah,
fast.
split it up this way, yeah.
But they came in, I can't remember what company that was, and he'd come in and say, what's it look like right
My
now?
paper's somewhere in there, and I was like, is this handy?
6:30. Mackenzie.
Well, our fixed assets are going to greatly expand because of the Wayne Street project and the water main project. He came at 10 today. He left at 10 to 4, I think it was. Be back Thursday. Because now the state, you have to have pictures taken, and when auditors come in, they will take that fixed asset and go out and see if it's where we say it is. It's like, I don't know.
Not really related, but kind of related. The tower on 11th Street looks good.
Yeah,
Looks really good.
Love that sidewalk. Whoever's idea to put that sidewalk. I love sidewalks in town. That one's wide and beautiful.
Hey.
I love it.
well, we've got a minute. Look at the Masonic Cemetery wall on our sidewalk.
Yeah, she's rough.
Check that out, because they're worried about what to do. So check that out.
It's rough.
I was going to say something to Dustin to take some pictures, and I
Yeah.
forgot.
Okay.
But there's got to be, I would think, and Scott, Ron, you probably know more than I, but a different way to put a wall there. You know, other than stone. But I think they came in and asked for help, and I said, well, we'll look into that,
Yeah.
because it's on our public sidewalk.
Okay.
Dropping stones. Well, you
Doesn't-
walk all.
Yeah,
It
it's-
needs
it's-
addressed.
yes.
It's-
Yeah, they
there's
said-
sometimes big chunks. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he said it's
It's
dropping
time.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go by there.
Yeah, you would know more about that than I would, but my great, I don't know which grandfather, his 4 or 5 wives are buried there.
Really?
Well, I can,
Just stand at the door
I can
until
send
you
out
got 1
Early
minute to
burials
stand
way
there.
back in the,
Cemeteries is something I do not understand
Or just go
because
sit on the
people
bench. Just
use them,
sit out on
make
the
money
bench.
off of them, and then
Sit on the bench and
turn them
wait,
over, and
and
the
then you're
township
good to
has
go.
to take care of
I
them.
know.
That doesn't seem like a good plan to me.
Yeah.
But
How did she have that work day?
yeah, I think she's and they've been doing work and she's doing great. She's getting a lot of stuff done. So
I
mean-
I couldn't think of a way I could help them, or I would have,
Yeah.
because I couldn't lift or anything, but I hoped people showed up to help.
I thought about that now. I just said she did great and she might be watching this, so I'll never hear the end of that. But she's doing great. She really is.
She is.
And she's got time to do it.
Yeah.
So and she's
To get that fire truck here, there'll be a ceremony out there that you guys will need to attend
Yeah.
whenever they decide to set that.
planning on it, that's kind
At
of.
least it's warm.
Well, that, is
It's a good
that
time,
usually
yeah.
during the day, or like when does that take place?
I think
Is it
last time it was
evenings,
evening.
I would think it'd be evening
I
because
think
of
it
all
was
the
good.
volunteers.
I
that are
volunteer
over
and
there.
working.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
have to push the truck in. so-
How do they do all the volunteers then have to get trained on the truck? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
before
but it's like they said that this truck it's
A
pumper.
repeat.
It's very similar.
Okay.
So there's not going to be extensive training. It's just going to be learning where the valves are for which lines and stuff like that. So really, it should not be very much.
Oh, good.
No.
Okay.
Because I just found it personally interesting. Dad was on the board when the last truck was
So was I.
Really?
purchased.
94.
And so I thought I'd like to get,
Yeah.
there's, Mom's got a picture of
Yeah.
Dad with the truck. I thought I'd like to get my picture
You're
with the new
that'd be
truck.
cool.
See,
Yeah,
that was
that's neat.
it was me, your dad, Chuck Boer. I think Bruce Preston ended up on there.
I can't remember who was in that picture.
Joe Landon was on it for a while, but I'm not sure he was on there the whole time. But I was by far the youngest person on there at the time.
But yeah, and Dad was on the fire department.
Yeah.
Too. Also
Oh, yeah.
was on
Oh,
the
yeah.
council and the fire department.
Oh,
with
see,
that.
obviously,
Wow.
yeah.
But yeah, he was a council member when
Yeah.
the truck was
Yeah.
purchased, and he was still active with the department.
I can't even remember who went and got it. It was
That
I
started
know
with
it
your
was
first
me
year,
and
didn't it?
Chuck.
What's
I
that?
don't
That started
remember.
with your first
Yeah,
year.
I
I know
That was
Chuck
your first year
went.
when
I
that
know that
started.
for a
Well,
fact. I can't
well,
remember who else went.
wasn't Curly Boxell? Because the
can't
first
remember
truck
who
they
went.
brought into council
Yeah.
that they wanted was like this one, double the cost. And then when they came back to the next meeting, and there was quite the debate, we met back there in the conference room in the town hall, and there was quite a debate because council said they couldn't afford it and
Yeah.
whatever. And then the next meeting, when they came in, they asked someone of the group, what's the discussion on the truck? And they said, we found out it won't turn the corners in town.
It was not only that, these trucks as they get longer is a problem
Yeah,
for some of these
that's-
rural railroad crossings and
Uh,
stuff. Because the longer the wheelbase, the more likely they are to
Yes,
drag.
yeah.
So I mean,
If you gotta,
Well,
These-
that night it was just simply, it wouldn't
Yeah.
turn the corners
yeah.
in town.
One of the biggest issues we had with that truck internally in the department was what color it was going to be. Because, a lot of us wanted it to be the light green because,
Right.
let's say you're on the highway and
Well, that was-
the truck dies, you want
Good
something
to
as
see.
visible as you can have because we were running on the interstate all the time.
that was kind of out of the norm at the time.
Oh
They were
yeah,
all red.
a lot of
Had to be red.
the older guys in the
Well,
department
now
were not happy.
they said that everybody was gonna switch to light green, and all
Oh,
my
yeah.
travels across the
You know-
country, I've seen maybe 4 of them.
Yeah,
See,
they're
like
special.
at a lot of the airports and stuff, they're yellow.
Yeah,
But light green, I mean, I was all for it. I
That's
thought,
probably gotta be a federal regulation, because not only their trucks, but also their equipment,
Yeah.
like John Deere, Roger's got some of those that they're airport, so the
Yeah.
John Deere, they're a yellow John Deere from the
Yeah.
factory
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
because of aviation.
that's probably how they know that what it's a part of. But
Unique.
yeah, it was funny because that was a big deal.
yeah, I remember all of it, because there was a lot of consternation
Yeah.
about that, and
Yeah.
then,
So why didn't we go with that color again?
I wasn't out
I
there.
don't think it's a color offered
It's
anymore.
not a color offering.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Pink, maybe.
About orange.
I just thought whatever the dark red is so dark, but now the 3M, the stripping they put on it is so bright.
Yeah.
Even if the lights go out, you're gonna see it. They didn't have as much good reflective
Yeah,
stuff on it
back then, no, but the
That's a good
reflective,
point,
even over
yeah.
my years with the county,
Yeah.
it used
The
to just be
reflective-
matte, and then it's
yeah.
got to the point where the decals really.
Yeah, the reflective stuff really comes out when the lights hit it now. So it's probably not such a big deal on the color of the trucks anymore.
these LED lights too.
Oh,
my
they're
Lord.
so bright. These,
I came up,
Right.
it's been a while ago on State Road 5, and I think it was Dennis, and it's like, you can see those for 2
Yeah.
miles.
well, and usually, like if they're going the same direction as traffic, they'll have their back ones, not the
Oh,
big bright
that's
ones.
what they have.
Because if they have those on, I mean,
It can be hard to.
That's
very hard to see.
It's hard to see, but also for their safety.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
have the
want
ones
people
that-
to see them.
on the road, but at night the lights would be so bright they
Yeah.
wouldn't see you.
Yeah.
Because the lights
That's true.
blinded
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, that's why I was coming up behind him. My gosh, I was like,
Oh yeah,
As long as they're not behind me,
yeah, yeah. I do not need those lights behind my vehicle.
I'm good.
That's great.
shoot.
Yeah, I never want to talk to Dennis when he's driving his car. That's probably not a good thing.
I do think we are in a bit of a unique, situation with the interstate and stuff. I think
Oh, yeah.
that's a whole different,
It is.
small town. I
It's-
mean, Markle probably
I
has the
saw-
same,
Yeah.
like
It's-
small towns
I
like
just
that.
wanted
Dale,
to-
Dale,
Something
Dale
here.
does, everybody is close. When
I'm
I
way
testified
behind.
one time
I'm
at the State House,
10,830. My goal's 12,000.
part of
So it's
the
like,
thing was on
When I was at the
taxation and
courthouse, I walked
everything,
around
and the
all
burden,
the
this was
time.
25
Okay,
years
that's
ago,
great.
20 years
All
ago.
kinds of steps.
And one of the
Up
things I said
downstairs,
is,
walk around
why
the
doesn't the state
Now they're-
reimburse towns
Sitting
that
on my
have
ass,
to
I'm going
manage
all kinds of miles.
interstates?
I'm getting home.
with
Why
our
do we have
emergency
3,000
Yeah.
steps?
Because half the
But I
time,
put
it's
600
trucks or people
miles
that aren't gonna pay.
Right.
So they leave the state, you can't do anything about it, and so there's no support for that fire department from that.
Yeah.
But it didn't get anywhere.
Yeah. That's a good point, though. Very good point. Because some of the departments don't even have to deal with any of that.
Well, like police department and fire department.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty close after that big ice storm when our guys were out there like 35 hours or something several years ago, and I remember our particular representative met with me after because I said something about not-for-profits that maybe aren't. That didn't go for it. He was a good representative.
when is this due again? Because clearly I have a lot.
30th.
Okay.
I called to see, let's not mention what, but I called to see, and I'll call after this week and get the number.
30.
That's 4 years, right?
Mhm. Well, unless you decide to quit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not much of a quitter.
4
Are you a
years.
starter? If you're not a quitter, are you a
I'm
starter?
thinking I'll be just about ready to turn 65 at that point.
Oh my God, how will you possibly function
I
at
don't
60?
know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That could be the end of you as we know it.
Everybody told me that would be 50, but 50 didn't faze me, so.
You'll just be so mellow at 65. Guys, quit laughing. Quit laughing.
I'm pretty mellow now, I think.
Hell, you are.
I think 60 is the new 40, so.
I didn't feel
And,
old. I didn't feel old until my oldest niece turned 62. That
That'd
did.
probably make me feel old too.
That made me feel very old. And I am very old, but it made me feel very old. I think that appointment's not coming either.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're.
And she replied
Mackenzie.
quickly.
Shoot.
Well, hopefully the next one shows up. I figured it had to be getting close to time.
Yeah.
Think I was just getting up for fun?
You said you needed to get steps in.
I do. I really kind of want to pace like the room.
You could go up and down the block out here.
I always go to work and I'm like, ah, I need more water. Back I go.
Oh my. Let's see what's happened at the office. It was, I don't know how many golf cart
It's hard to walk
permits.
without the.
Oh my goodness.
Steps
I
are
can't
gas
believe how
limit.
many of those there
I
are
have
in
to
this
receive
town.
They're just
every one of those
pointless.
in separately.
Hello. On
I
our
don't know
scooters.
how long it took me to
I got
put
a
receipts in
leash that
today.
goes around my waist.
And last
and then
month,
he just
too.
connects to it.
Yeah,
He
because
runs
we
with
did.
me on my
I
scooter.
applied.
Is he really?
I think I
Is
did.
he
I did
really
ours a while
tired
ago.
dog?
No.
Well, maybe that was last year.
Yes.
I better check.
Now as soon as you
I
get out
better
of the
check
car,
and see,
it's
yeah.
got freaked out.
Did I do it this
This
year?
year,
It's
I mean,
awesome.
Was
March.
it? That's hilarious.
We'll scoot by your
This
house
year,
sometime.
You're
I tried
outdated.
doing that with my mom's dog.
Okay.
Yesterday, she tried tying the leash, and I was like,
I don't know that I did.
that was not a good.
I'm-
She's
But
not
I don't know
safe.
because I write your
She's a-
name
she's a-
otherwise.
You know, I remember
So,
when
okay.
Katie was
So,
here.
poodle mix,
He
but
come knock
it's
on
just
my door one
little,
time,
but
and he's like,
like,
"What's up?"
you only weigh 40 pounds.
Just
Yeah,
wanted
she
to
might.
let you know the golf cart was out of
Break your
date.
back. You should
Yeah.
just take
What
it off.
happened with
And
this?
She's got better luck doing that
Oh,
like a donkey.
okay, thanks.
just a jump
I'll
on the dog.
take care of that. I mean, but
Well, now
yeah,
you get
But
to
yeah,
stick
she
it.
wants to do
Yeah.
that so bad.
And so they can tell
Aw.
just by
She was
looking
walking
at your
right
cart
today
that
with
it's
her
outdated.
leash
right,
around
which
the
is
house.
good. That's a great idea.
Aw. I'm glad it's warmer. I want to get over there and see them.
And do it, but we just have so
Every
many.
time
Yeah.
I go to my parents' house, I'm like,
It's just
"I'm
like your
outside,
boats
I
or
see
anything
them."
else. I mean,
There's
And we have people that
Tink looks
ride
like
for free, and
Yeah.
that's just not
adult.
fair.
No, they
She's
shouldn't.
lost all of her, like, because her winter, you know.
You
these
guys are gonna
real
get me till,
fluffy,
I'm gonna get up and
I
walk
know.
out there and look out the
I
door.
know. I was like,
I
winter
can't believe,
came,
because she
and so she
responded
had, like,
right
her
away.
winter
A
coat,
winter coat.
and now she's lost it, and it's just short hair, and I'm like,
is it raining?
I knew I should have worn my hood.
Well, it was a small one, so it might be gone by the time.
You keep saying that.
Okay. She's got a bird at the grill. So.
I think she drives the Jeep from
She's
playing
not
pickleball.
sitting on the bench, is she?
Who's that?
Oh, nope.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie?
She plays pickleball on Thursdays, so I think she drives the Jeep.
So I guess Taylor's not. I mean, we can still
Hi,
consider
Mackenzie.
her, I guess. Hi, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Mackenzie, this is Ron Boxell,
I think I.
Megan
met
Thompson,
you before.
Michelle Swigert, Scott Kennedy, and me.
Were you in Tyler's?
Andrews.
Anders. I couldn't remember. Andrew, Tyler, too close.
Well, thanks for taking time to come. This is pretty laid back. First of all, I want to tell you that council intends to apply for a grant from DNR. I
Okay.
think we talked about that a bit when you were there. To do so, there has to be a legal park board.
Sure.
So you're not going to be necessarily, although you are a grant writer, I mean, from your whatever I see. But anyway, that's what this is in preparation for, but it's hopeful that the park board will then go on and handle. We have 4 parks. We have Tower Park, Veterans Park. We lease the land for Riverside Park to Chamber, and we have the nature trail behind Salamone now.
Okay.
So we have 4 parks. So and there's a lot to do for planning and whatever. So pretty laid back. I'll just ask you questions, but respond to the council. You know, talk to them, Mackenzie. So what are your skills and experiences that would make you involved in such a plan for a multi-year park plan?
Yeah, so I work for a nonprofit, so I have a lot of experience working with board of directors, and then too with if there were projects. Obviously, I am a full-time grant writer, so would be willing to use my expertise in that way to help any projects that would be needed for the parks.
So in your, do you sit on a board like this, or are you?
No, so I work with our board of directors. So
Okay. So when it comes to this park board, we don't have a park department per se. Everything's just one
sure.
group. So the park board would be working in what's it?
Conjunction.
Conjunction with the town council.
Junction. Everybody remembers that, don't they?
Yeah, you fill in the words now. Because the park board will hold its meetings here.
Sure.
To be live streamed, hold it here, and then brought to the council. So in a situation like that, if you worked hard and the council says, no, we can't do that, or we can't afford that, or whatever, how do you handle a situation like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have ideas all the time at work that people say, that's not really the direction we're going to go. So, I don't know, just find the direction that people do want to go in, I suppose. Pivot and see what other ideas are out there.
Do you, in a situation with a group of people, how do you participate with that, within that group?
Yeah, so I would say I'm not like always the one to talk first. I like to listen and absorb inform a thought before. I'm not one to like just start firing off the top of the head. I kind of am the one to like take in and then frame my thoughts and then let them out.
Yeah. Okay. So, also, in reality, funding is an issue with certain plans the park board's coming up with. How do you prioritize funding? What do you look at to prioritize projects for fun? I think it's a good thing we're wanting to prioritize projects for funding of a park system.
Yeah, so I think like the priorities would be, is there something that needs repaired immediately? Things that get the most use. And then I think another thing to prioritize are things that have a lot of potential that aren't being utilized to the full extent that they could be. And how do we make that better so that more people can participate or enjoy it or whatever that may be.
Okay, let's say that you've been appointed to the park board and someone comes up and complains about something at the park and you know how that goes. How would you react to that complaint?
Yeah, I think it's important to listen to people. They're complaining because they care, and they, whether it's something that they wanted to utilize and they couldn't utilize because it was broken, or people typically, you know, those things come from wanting things to be better and caring. So it's important to keep that perspective when people are sharing their complaints and concerns, and making sure that they know that you understand it and you hear it and you want to try to fix it too.
Reading through here, you're covering everything.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the top priorities? What do you see as the top priorities for our parks over the next few years?
I would say, like, if there is equipment maybe that needs updated, or are there things that the community wants that we don't necessarily have at the moment? What stuff is like kind of perpetually needing repaired, and focusing on those types of things.
Okay, the park board, to start with, first of all, once you've organized, you have to organize as a park board.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time will be spent on this, discussing this application and whatever, but it's really a long-term commitment because this council expects the park board to do a lot of, like the maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the maintenance, the utility manager, I don't know if you know Dustin
Mm-hmm.
now, they take care of a lot of that.
Sure.
But it's working not only maybe with here, but with Dustin and
Mm-hmm.
meeting with him and whatever. So in that respect, do you have a sight of being on the park board for a while?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't have plans to like leave the area or anything like that. Planning to buy a house in town soon, so
Good.
so I'm not planning on leaving.
Michelle, did you have a question? You
I
covered
think you covered it. Yeah, no, I think you've asked all of them.
Well, one of the things that will be worked after is a comprehensive plan
Mm-hmm.
for the park. And that'll be, I think, one of the focus later, well, starting anytime,
Mm-hmm.
is this development of a comprehensive plan. And then that would fit into looking for more grants. And DNR grant will be fairly focused.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a typical grant application, having written grant. It's not a typical, it's more nuts and bolts
Mm-hmm.
and what you see. But it also brings in the nature trail, which
Cool.
we've just taken ownership of.
Cool.
The further that in the discussions, it was always that would be improved.
Hmm.
So there's going to be a lot to do
Mm-hmm.
as a park board,
Sure.
and a lot of meetings with the council. So clarifying that. Megan, you have a question?
No, do you have any
My
questions for us?
goodness. My
So, what is kind of your timeline for like solidifying and then moving forward with the DNR grant and stuff like that?
I think it's November, it has to be applied for, it has to be submitted.
Yeah, we need to have the
And
plan done by
we have a
then.
form, the park board will get that right away, when I have all that. And there will be on the park board an appointment from the town council. The 4 park board members to be selected will be the voting members. There's a member required from the school board, and he's been appointed by the school board. He lives here in town. That's done. A member of council, but can't vote, but would be present. And it's really whoever you guys chime in. I see it sort of fluid, just sort of kind of Dustin, you may need Dustin at one time, or you may need to call in somebody else or whatever. It's sort of a fluid, Megan's worked in the park, it's sort of a fluid situation there. And as you go along, I would think, and you guys, it would be ever-changing as you're moving through, so.
And the board, to start out with, they're on different intervals. So out of the 4 people, one will get replaced in 1 year, 1, 2,
Sure.
1, 3, 1. And then after that, everybody's 4 years.
Sure.
So there will be somebody new every year, maybe, possibly.
Maybe.
Same person could stay. But that's an appointment by this board, is my understanding, so.
We have a contact that we've been working with the DNR at the state level, and they've been helping kind of guide this process for us as well. So they've been a great contact, and hopefully will continue to be for the park board
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
for the grant, but going beyond that, you would, you know. And as we were talking, it might involve visiting other parks or whatever. Other than, you know, we wouldn't want to send you to where's the president? The president.
Mount
Mount
Rushmore.
Rushmore, you don't need to go there.
Always wanted
But
to see
looking at
that.
other
Yeah.
programs. And then the office would handle some of that for you too. I mean, when they make a decision, then we would help with that, so. The meetings would have to be, I think I said, live streamed,
Okay.
as this one is, so it's,
So they're here so that they can't be live
yeah.
streamed.
So anyway, well, my goodness, any other questions?
No, that's-
Well,
All right.
thanks,
Yeah,
thanks for
thank you
applying.
guys.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
for
you so much for
applying.
coming in.
hunting.
We'll make a decision at the next meeting, so.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
decision will be made on May 11th.
Okay. Nelson's back out.
I've got your contact.
Hey, that was
Very
great.
Glad you didn't get some.
Thank you.
Did she say it's raining hard?
No,
No,
she said the
sun's
sun's out. It
shining.
was just doing the light
Awesome.
just-